Uqinisile yini kanti? Uthi manje uGininda uthi uGininda funa abantu mawuthola labantu ngizokunika ipromotion. Uthole nemali futhi eyinkulu. Ingane nje bisingasasetheki mayifike kimi. Ingane yami igxume mangithi mina hayibo. Kahle leyo ndaba zo promotion ngena ngomsebenzi wakho kuyipromotion. Fawa ngokuthi uyakwazi ukwenza umsebenzi wakho. Hayi ukuthi wena uthi uzofawa ngoba uhamba uphunya. Nomkhuhlane. Ilokho kongenze ukuthi ke bese lokho edibana noGininda. Uyasuka lo mfana mayebuyile ngenilanga. Siyaqala uthi baba mangacela wena nje umukele izinto onganikwa indlela phamaphoyiseni onganikwa yona. Singacela nje sicele ngomunye umuntu sifihle ngomunye umuntu. Ngithi wena unomuntu obabekile ofanele benze lokho. Bese hayi ukhona umuntu kuthiwa ukhumana.
Good afternoon, masterminds. I hope you are good. It's a Sunday afternoon. It seems like these days, me and Jabs are only going to record on Sundays. We are going to wait for the week's proceedings in the court, and then we will come to do our recaps on Sundays. Because unfortunately, during the week, and Jabs is traveling a lot, and I also have a lot of things to do during the week. We cannot, we are trying, we've tried, we cannot record. So now what you saw there is Baba Zungu, where it was on 10 July 2025, if my memory serves me well, Jabs, when Baba Zungu went to the Newcastle police station to go and press charges against Gininda and his son, Constable Zungu, relating to the affidavit that Gininda read in court and told everyone that that is the affidavit of Baba Absalom, and Baba Absalom is the one who signed that affidavit. So in Jabs, we are going to discuss what transpired in court since Thursday when Baba Zungu was introduced as witness X. And let me greet you. How are you?
I'm good, Suspect, and yourself?
You look tired. I know you've been traveling. I know you've been traveling day and night.
Yes, I'm a bit exhausted, but you know what? Sometimes we pray for these things, basically. And before I can actually start, it's something that I also wanted to share because we also have a lot of the guy by the name of Skybridge. He's also a YouTuber. I want Real Mastermind just to listen to this part, to this thing. I like the way that it's also presented this. You know, we can figure out that this other guy is so and so, and he says, I never signed the statement. Let's just listen a bit.
Room bombshell shook the entire gallery. Absalom Zungu took the stand and shattered one of the prosecution's strongest pillars. The statement that Colonel Gininda has repeatedly called the backbone of the case. Zungu says Gininda lied about everything, from the language they spoke to the very signature on that controversial document. As he explained his side, the tension in the courtroom rose sharply, leaving everyone questioning how such a critical statement could even be admissible. Let's take you right into the moment where the cracks began to show.
You further said to him that you have no objection to the taking of the prescribed oath, and you consider the prescribed oath to be binding on your conscience.
Uyaqhubeka-ke abhale lana ukuthi-ke washo wena kuyena ukuthi awunankinga yokuthi-ke ungakufungela lokhu okushoyo noma-ke ungathatha isifungo salokhu okushoyo nokuthi-ke uyazi ukuthi-ke isifungo lesi osithathayo uyisibophezelo kunembeza wakho noma amagama kuyinto-ke ekuqoqayo ukuthi ukhulume iqiniso. No, I know nothing about that.
Thank you. Now, just one thing that I think is very crucial. One of the few things that are very crucial in the statement. Now, I see that this statement is taken in English. Did you ever narrate a statement to Brigadier Gininda in English?
Enye ke yezinto ezisemqoka nezibaluleke kakhulu ke kule statement lesi. Ngiyabona ukuthi istatement lesi ke sibhalwe ngesingisi. Ingaba sikhona yini istatement owasenza ku Brigadier Gininda usenza ngesingisi English? No. None.
Let's stop it there. Let's stop it there.
Very, very interesting. Very, very, very interesting.
I think for me as a pet, what is most interesting is how the media, the mainstream media that said they took an oath with SANEF that they're gonna broadcast ethical broadcasting with without being biased, give us a reflection of what is really happening. But unfortunately now, suspect we are where we are because now none of the mainstream newspaper wants to report on this matter.
Now, none of the mainstream TV broadcasting outlets is interested to report on this matter. Now you ask yourself, is this not a matter of national interest? Were we not told by the same mainstream media that this was a matter of national interest because Senzo Miwa was a celebrity soccer player? Seemingly, the mainstream media are only reporting what suits them. If it was it, I believe if it had something to do with a state, it would have been all over the news. It would have been all over, but it seems like someone who offered to come forward with the truth. This is shocking. This is embarrassing. And the mainstream media doesn't see it like that. This is embarrassing. That an old man traveled from KZN to Gauteng to come and tell the world. This is not a case for South Africa. This is a global case. It's a case for the world. An old man traveled from KZN to come and tell the world that that is not my signature. And me and you and Jabs, we are two of the privileged people who actually saw Baba Zungu's signature.
Yes.
We saw Baba Zungu. We are the ones who can say for sure. We saw Baba Zungu's. We know what Baba Zungu's signature looked like. And none of the mainstream media is interested to go to Baba Zungu to say, can we please compare these signatures? Can you please give us a copy of your signature and we take the signature on that? Because these are now public documents. It's in court. Yes. It has been put on record in court. None of the mainstream, the only two papers that I saw reporting about this is Daily Sun, who broke the story, by the way, and Sunday World was a second paper after Daily Sun who reported about this. And then Elton Hart and Kwazi Bey was interviewed by a foreign media outlet.
Yes.
Usually, Newsroom Africa will interview Elton Hart. ENCA will interview Elton Hart. And Elton Hart was invited because no one was even interested to invite anyone, not just Elton Hart, anyone to come and testify. Absalom Zungu is not a stranger in this case. Gininda have been talking about, even Judge Rata was the one who said that Absalom Zungu was a taxi driver Judge Rata even gave him an occupation of a taxi driver.
Yes, he did.
And
He
now,
did.
Rata treat Absalom Zungu like an outcast, even attacking him, telling him that he is calling Gininda a liar. How can you call someone a liar when you dispute a signature and say, I never met with this, I met with this person, but I never gave this person an affidavit. That is not my signature. Is Baloyi going to challenge Baba Zungu on his signature? When he said he's going to, is he going to challenge him on his signature?
In fact, his pet, they went further and says, oh, but I thought you said Gininda is a liar. That
That's
was
what,
Rata's.
yes.
Now,
That is the narrative that the court, I'm not even just talking about Baloyi. That is the narrative that the court is pushing, that Baba Zungu, Gininda can never be a liar, meaning that Baba Zungu is the liar.
exactly.
Baba Zungu made a request to the court to say that, to support my version, can we please subpoena? Can the court make an order to request my documents with my signature from my bank, from SASA, from Home Affairs, from everywhere? And the court is not interested. The court is not interested. The court said, no, I don't want to get involved. Talk to your lawyer. I don't want to get involved. Why does the court not want those documents to be subpoenaed? So that this old man came to assist the court. He didn't come here to, he even said that I don't hate them. I don't hate them. But I'm here to tell the court the truth. The court is not interested in the truth.
Maybe, Pet, we need to look at this way. What went wrong here? What went wrong here is we had a case which, according to everybody in South Africa, it should have been, it was supposed to be a straightforward case. Your people were in the house, this is what happened, and this is what happened. Simple as that. But then now, for some odd reason, with this specific case, things that should be normal, they're not being normalized. I always want to, I was saying this thing earlier on, Suspect, another forum. Sibia could be the worst person now that everybody hates so much. You understand? But I can tell you this, Suspect, that you need to ask, how does a suspended person, firstly, find himself at the work environment without proper HR processes? That's one. So then don't treat Sibia as a police officer at the time. Rather treat him as a family friend or as a civilian. How then do you go on about Sibia in 2016 during your investigation up until the arrest in 2020, the case start, while Sibia is not even within the police force?
Exactly.
Now, once now you go to court, this person, Sibia, happens to be your boss, technical, the head of investigations. You don't even have a meeting, because it looks like you've been writing, Gininda, a lot of things in a diary, and have a meeting with your boss and say, while you were gone, this is the case I have, and it's some information that I have. We've received information that talks about you. Is there something that you're recollecting about that? And also, I've got 2-star witness which is Constable Zungu, who keeps on putting you on the crime scene. Now then, that is why people maybe they missed before when we said, Sbia, are you going to call your own media brief? Because people now, we need that. Sbia, South Africa is a very forgiving country. You are forgiving. But for once, say, take us in confidence.
They even forgave Becky Taylor. While Becky Taylor didn't expose everything. They even forgave Becky Taylor, and I believe they are still going to be shocked to what Becky Taylor didn't expose in the ad hoc committee.
Yes, I mean it's
Becky
the
Taylor was
things.
part of this, Njabula. We must not forget it. Becky Taylor was part of the cooking in this case. We must never lose focus of that. I say that everyone who was part of this case from the beginning, the reason why we are sitting with two doctors is because one faction, because there were two groups. One group came across the truth. And this group said that, but this other group tried to cover up the truth. You understand? Hence, but this group who tried to cover up the truth was more powerful than two police officers. Remember, it was Makubu and Lieutenant. They were only two against this powerful. Now we know how powerful is Gininda. That Gininda can go to Emelo, kidnap an old man, and go and force him to identify pictures and to say things that he doesn't know anything about. Now I'm asking myself, there's another question I'm asking myself. Did Constable Zungu do all these things voluntarily? Did he make all these submissions, affidavits, and this revealing information? Was it voluntarily? Because in Jabs, if we go back to the Radovan Krecher case, hardened police officers have been made to sign confessions. Hardened police officers have been made to sign confessions. Now I'm looking at Constable Zungu. Did he? I'm asking myself a lot of questions because where is Constable Zungu, by the way? Where is he? The last time I heard, it was said he was transferred to Cape Town. Because the way Baba Zungu is talking, he said, my child, listen when I talk to you. He listens. He's a child that listens when I talk, when I reprimand him. But now, there's now this child that the father doesn't recognize. What happened to this child?
Gininda happened.
Gininda happened. And can we now? Because I don't want to judge people when I don't know. What was the circumstances? What was the force behind the actions? I cannot judge Constable Zungu because I don't know what forced him to do what he did to his blood father. Until he comes forward and tell the story, there's the only time that I will be able to judge him. For now, I'm going to reserve my judgment until I hear his side of the story.
Suspect, the story of this case, it's very emotional because
painful.
Yes, because it's just a constant reminder, like you're saying now, that very senior police officers in a creature case were made to actually sign confessions. That's what happens in this case.
Gininda's modus operandi is to target vulnerable people. I believe Zungu was extremely vulnerable. Because even if I look at this picture, I don't see a strong person. I really don't see a strong person. I don't know him. He's known by his parent. And his parent said, when I speak to my son, he listened.
It's just too emotional, suspect, because now nobody is questioning that. How is it possible that the whole brigade can do this? But all questions is like, this case is so strange because you're questioning a person that's supposed to be providing you assistance. Those people are the ones that are constantly being put on trial. Those are the same people that are constantly being questioned, have to prove themselves.
Themselves. In this case, the Baba Zungu is the one who now has to prove himself. The state is not appreciating his efforts of coming forward with new evidence. The state is not appreciating that, because I thought that a job of a state prosecutor was to gather evidence to assist the court into building a strong enough case beyond to when the accused person are being convicted, then the evidence is so overwhelming beyond reasonable doubt. Now comes someone. Now I must now come to court, and I must be challenged by the state, the same state that I want to assist. The state is now indicating that they are going to challenge me on that signature. Now, what I want to know, I'm so interested to find out, how is Baloyi going to challenge Baba Zungu? Is he going to challenge Baba Zungu to a point that he's going to dispute that that is not Baba Zungu's signature, or that he's going to dispute the signature that Baba Zungu submitted? Because now it means we have to, an expert, a signature expert must now be brought in to check whether the signature match the handwriting on the affidavit. Now they also have to call all the police officers who were there with Gininda that night and check their own handwritings to check whether their handwritings measure what, how long, and how long is it going to take to do this, and how much more is it going to cost the taxpayer if Baloyi wants to go that route, to challenge someone on his affidavit. He and Rata already admitted on Friday that it's triple hearsay. Now, if it's triple hearsay, that means that that affidavit has not been admitted in court. Now, how do you challenge someone on an affidavit that was dismissed by court? How are you now going to challenge that person if the affidavit has been dismissed by yourself?
It's so painful, suspect, because now you actually ask yourself whether is now the prosecutor part of this mess? Because the prosecutor needs to say, oh, I just need to go back and double check with these people what really happened here. How is it possible that a witness can come and say, I didn't do this? So now as a prosecutor, the question says, if you've got all the docket, did you verify? Because part of the checklist as a prosecutor is to check whether Do you have all these witnesses that are available to you? That are they alive? Do you have access to these witnesses? All their statement to do your own due diligence, basically. So I don't know. You see the
Judge,
painful.
the only person who can dispute or admit to a affidavit is the person whose names are printed on the affidavit. No one else. If Baba Zungu said this is not my affidavit, no one can challenge it. His names is on that affidavit. Not Judge Rata's names, not Gininda's names, not Baloyi's name. If Baba Zungu says this is not my affidavit, no one can challenge it. No one can challenge it. Because that is all that is needed in court. The person whose names is printed on the affidavit must affirm the authenticity of that affidavit. Was he part of that affidavit? If he say no, it's no. If you say yes, it's yes. Ends there.
Mm. How did we get here, Suspect?
You know what I wish for, Njabs? I wish, remember what happened in the Oscar Pretorius case? When the judge, when two observers was appointed in that case, because the judge was also going in a direction that was not proper. I so wish that, because now we TikTokers and YouTubers and social media, we have now become the jury in this case. We have, if not for social media and the social media influence, no one would have known this information. If not for TikTok, Baba Zungu would not knew how to reach out to court. If not for TikTok.
Exactly.
He would have not, and he would still have sat with this guilt inside of him to say that, you know what, I'm responsible for other people's children being sentenced because of an affidavit that I don't know about. We must thank social media influence. We must thank social media. The ones who actually want justice, because not all social media influence is there for justice. This is not a competition between social media influence. This is about getting justice for Senzo Miwa and his family. Other people have turned it into a competition. They've turned it into a competition. That's their business. This is a free world, free speech, free whatever. But if you can, I laughed what the chairperson of the ad hoc committee was saying when he was reprimanding Cedric Hamilton. He said to him, go back, go look into the mirror and go speak to your conscience.
Yeah.
That's what he told him. He said, go back, go look in the mirror and go speak to your conscience. If you can still speak to your conscience, then it means you want justice. You are out there, not for likes, not to be popular, but you want justice. Those out there who are discrediting and trying to humiliate Baba Zungu, I wonder if they still have parents. I really wonder if they still have parents. Because only a parent who loves his child with all his heart will go out there and tell the world that this is my child. I'm heartbroken. I don't want to do this. But because I love this child, I'm going to do this. Because I don't know where is this child going to end. This is the parent who don't want to be lawyers to defend this child in a court of law. Because he was the one who condoned the wrongdoings of his children. This is a parent who's not even afraid to die for the truth. This is a parent who's not afraid. This is a parent who's not afraid to be humiliated by social media influences. All he wants is to speak the truth. And you can hear he has a lot to say. You can hear. Even the fact that this is the parent who can say that. The way this, because of the seriousness of this matter, if anything happens to me, my child must not be, you must also look at me, not only Gininda, even my child must be held responsible if anything happens to me. When in history did we ever saw this happening before? Where a parent doesn't hide the crimes or the wrongdoings of his own child. That's why I'm saying, I say, me, Njabs, I so wish my parents were still around so that I can thank them. So that I can thank them for reprimanding me when I was wrong. Because now I can actually differentiate between right and wrong. I'm not afraid I'm not afraid to stand alone with the truth. I'm not afraid to be humiliated because of the truth. Because my parents taught me that the truth is not nice. It's not funny. It's not nice to work alone. It's not nice to see people, to lose people. Because the truth makes you lose people. People that you thought that you like, people that you actually love. You know what? Since I started this journey, I lost so many people that I really loved. I lost them because of the truth, because many people are not comfortable with the truth. I believe Baba Zungu's family is proud of him. I believe Baba Zungu's community is proud of him. And I believe the province of KZN is proud of Baba Zungu. Because KZN, this is the salt of the earth of KZN.
Yes. Yeah, because you spend the time, what I've picked up what you're saying, Sis Pat, is the truth. The truth.
Yes, sir.
In Gininda's response, in Baba Zungu's testimony, the truth that actually came out indirectly was the cell phone towers. Remember, Baba Zungu spoke about being kidnapped. And where he was taken, we had evidence that was laid about the cell phone towers of Zungu at the time. Remember, this thing of Mpumalanga started, and then they tried to cover it up as if no. They were saying that number 5 was the one that was in Mpumalanga. Remember that what was happening before. Then they said no, taxi violence is in Mpumalanga in KZN in Hammersdale. They changed that. But then now when you're showing Muzi, conversation of Muzi and Zungu, then the Worsley Tower comes through, and then the issue of Betal also is coming up. So that's the truth that actually comes out that
And
indeed.
And the 4x4 that Baba Zungu is referring to.
That had the sale.
The 4x4 with the sale that Baba Zungu said. You know what? One thing about it, I keep on telling people everything. No matter how long it takes, you can never outrun it. You can bury it. You can bury it. But the truth, you don't have to defend it. You just have to set it free. It will defend itself. Yeah. So now, should the AVL be made available, That AVL is going to take us to the places that Baba Zungu mentioned. That's why the AVL are not being made available.
Yeah. Then they must just tell us what was then Constable Zungu traveling with, because the same day around November, that's the same day that the towers are. Remember, they talk about the 19th of November and the 17th. Mostly, that's when the towers are.
Now,
So they must.
Another request before we are cut off, another request that I want to make to Zungu's colleagues. They're out there. There are people there was someone who commented on my post on Facebook to say, I know Baba Zungu. He's an honest, ethical, bubbly person. She said, it hurts me to hear him like this in court, because usually he's a very bubbly person. It was painful to hear him. Now Zungu's Constable Zungu's colleagues out there, we need information. Can you please tell us, when did Zungu join the South African Police Service? When did he go for basic training? When did he become a student constable? When did he become a full constable? Because we know that Zungu is saying that in 2014 he had a driver's license and he drove a state vehicle. So we need that information, because I believe the reason that AVL reports of Zungu's vehicle are not being made available is because they are not corresponding with these.
They don't exist. Zungu was not driving any car in 2014.
So please, masterminds out there, please share the information with us. I'm available on Facebook, Patricia Morgan Mashali. I think Jobs is available, News for Sure, and Gaza Nation on TikTok. Please share that information with us so that we can do our own research and find out that when was Constable Zungu actually already a police officer on 26 October 2014. That's what we want to know. Thank you very much, masterminds. We are going to end it here. And let's meet again tomorrow. Proceed with the Senzo Miwa case and Baba Zungu's evidence. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye-bye.